Hi there, Rob Sebeck with Dawn's Appliances in Canonsburg, and today with me is...
James Hayes, also from Dawn's Appliances in Canonsburg.
Love having you here, James.
Love being here, Rob.
Today, we are going to talk about customization and design choices, along with the budgets that are entailed with them when selecting kitchen appliances.
And yeah, kind of the practicality that kind of comes along with making some of those choices and how that might affect you down the road.
Right. Choosing by design typically isn't really a practical choice, you know, whenever it comes to the cost associated.
Sure. So I would say that, the customization, a lot of people are doing a lot of customization in new builds. I've seen a lot of, I don't know, you say 85% of our new builds are doing like custom wood hoods and stuff anymore with an insert.
It might even be more than that at this point.
So it's like, the old fashioned kind of stainless hood, where cost effective, you can get a really nice hood for $1,000. That's what you're going to pay for the insert alone just to pop up into a custom hood. So I think most times custom hoods are going to range anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 if you're sourcing it from a cabinet maker.
Right, for like a wood hood, or even just doing framework and plaster, stucco, drywall, shiplap, something along those lines. I think that's a realistic number.
Yeah.
But then you have custom metal hoods, which we're a coppersmith dealer here at Dawn's Appliances.
Mm-hmm.
And that can, I really can't come out and say a budget just because of all the varying sizes, styles, and things like that. But realistically, I'd say bare minimum, you're spending around $5,000. But it can be, our display hood here at Canonsburg is probably about $15,000 retail with a blower. It is also, 66 inches wide, 54 inches tall. Everything is custom on it.
Yeah.
So it can really blow you out of the water when it comes to budget. But if you have a certain design that you fell in love with, we really can do anything with the metal.
Yeah, and the quality of those hoods, they are something that lasts forever. I will say that Coppersmith, they'll build a custom whatever hood insert, and then we have a couple that we recommend to use with them. But those wooden hoods, a lot of times cabinet makers are going to supply their own insert, which is fine, and sometimes it makes our life easier until you need to replace it 8-9 years down the road, and sometimes that can be a challenge. So just expect that as you go down. It's not as simple as just pulling down a stainless hood and popping it up in there.
Right, ductwork changes, electrical location changes. Did it have a duct cover before? Does it not anymore? Like, is there even a wall behind the hood, or is it just hanging there? So there's a lot of variables when it comes to replacement with range hoods. Mm-hmm. But doing a project, that's a really great place to customize and make it really a unique piece. That's a feature and a focus. But outside of range hoods, we're seeing a lot of customization with refrigeration in multiple brands.
Yeah.
Like true refrigeration, you can do in a lot of different colors. They'll custom color match. You can change the hardware on them. They're coming out with new colors that seemingly, once a quarter, once every half a year or so. But American-made company and fully custom. They can get it here in, I think, 8 to 10 weeks.
Let's not forget our boys up in Reading.
Well, Blue Star, right.
And then between both those companies, too, they'll do full custom RAL coloring for you. So if you have an RAL color you want to use, you can work with both the companies. And it only costs money, but they'll do it for you.
It'll only cost money. That's a salesman right there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you can have if you like the look of something like the GE Cafe, which brilliant marketing strategy. Everyone comes in and they want GE Cafe and freestanding appliances. You can have that in a high-end built-in kitchen with some of those brands out there.
And Blue Star really took it a step further in that, you could provide them with, I had a customer who didn't like any RAL colors.
Yeah.
And we ended up finding, I think, a Sherwin-Williams paint color. We sent a swatch out to Blue Star. They matched it, sent it back to the customer. She signed off on it. And we custom colored a double wall oven and a French door refrigerator in like a periwinkle kind of bluish purple.
Yeah.
Turned out unbelievable. And you could even have a tapestry printed onto your range or on your fridge if you so chose. Not really my style. But moving from that, where it's the really, really high cost customization.
Yeah.
What about like affordable customization like a GE Cafe?
Well, GE Cafe, they have a limited selection of colors. You got your matte white, matte black, stainless, and then they have 5-handle colors now. They just had it in
they came out with 2 more this year.
Is it 2 more?
Brass and matte black.
Yeah, so and when you order that, it's going to come with a stock handle on it, and then they'll sell you the handle kit as an option. You can pick it up additionally, and then go ahead and tack it on. So it's a little bit more limited in customization, but it is an option that's there.
But the price reflects that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you're talking a custom true 48, you're looking at maybe $25,000 versus, $4,000 for a GE Cafe fridge.
Right.
It's 6 times the difference. Now, the other thing that's out there a lot is panel ready. And you can do that in a lot of places. And places I like to see it on, is, dishwashers.
For sure.
Ice makers, things like that. And for 2 reasons. A, replacement business down the road's easy. Because a lot of times those panels are going to be 24 by 30. And it's easy to pull it off of one unit and slap it onto another. But a lot of people are doing it on refrigeration now. And then sometimes that can be a challenge. So, if you have a Sub-Zero, hypothetically, like maybe that 48 French door they have out now, and you panel that, which you can, just know that those panels will never fit another refrigerator down the road ever again.
Unless Sub is still making
the
same exact thing 20 years from now, which this new generation is the first time that a customer calls with an old Sub-Zero and they have panels. There is no reusing them anymore on the current generation. So we're probably going to see new iterations of that as time goes on. And that's a first for Sub, but that's how it's been with Gen Air, with the GE Monogram, KitchenAid, the Frigidairs of the world that are out there. There's a lot of fridges in the world that have panels on them that aren't built in, like the Amanas. From back in like the 90s.
It's still out. KitchenAid has it back now, finally. So, and KitchenAid and Amana are both under the Whirlpool umbrella, if you didn't know. So that's going to be the only freestanding panel ready that I know of. Well, maybe Fisher Baker.
That one builds in. But even so, I think that's a different conversation.
Now, if you want to do panel ready refrigeration, I think the easiest thing to do, just to protect yourself down the road, so you can keep your beautiful cabinet panels, is going to be columns.
Agreed.
Because from brand to brand to brand, the column sizes are all identical. So,
and the build quality is pretty darn close to identical too.
Yeah.
There's only really 3 places where columns get built.
Yeah. So, if you have hypothetically a 30-inch Miele refrigerator column and it goes out and you come in 5 years, well, hopefully it lasts longer than 5 years.
I hope it's longer than 5.
Let's say 15 years down the road.
There you go.
And then you're like, well, what about this, Sub-Zero? 90% chance that panel's going to come right off there and attach to the other one without any challenge. So, if you like the look of panel ready refrigeration, maybe take a look at column refrigeration. And then with that too, it's kind of build your own refrigerator size. You pick out what you want and then your designer fits it in. So,
speaking of designers, that's where this push has come from. Because panel ready really felt like it was dying off in the late 2010s. And here we are in COVID, and I would say half of the design, build, remodel jobs that I'm dealing with right now involve panel-ready built-in refrigeration. So it really has made a comeback. And to your point, the high touch point, water is around it kind of appliances like ice makers and dishwashers, under-counter refrigerators, you're seeing them get paneled a lot now again, too.
Yeah, no, it can really give you a really beautiful look at the end of the day. But, if you want to know a little bit more about this stuff, come down to Canonsburg, meet with Rob or myself, and we'd be more than happy to kind of show you, go over everything that's available, and then, or just jump on donsappliances.com. We have a lot of things you can see there, or check out our YouTube channel where Rob and I talk about a lot of this stuff over the course of, a year now. So.
Yeah.